99.5 WKDQ welcoming a special guest to our radio station today, and it is Oscar winner Jim Wilson. How are you today, sir?
I'm good, Eric. How are you?
Doing great. Great to talk to you, and there is a big reason we're talking to you today, and you've got a movie premiere that is happening right here in Evansville for the movie 50 to 1 coming up. All about Mind That Bird, who was a Kentucky Derby winner, and a lot of racing fans here in this area. Tell us a little bit about the movie.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm a racehorse owner. I've been running horses here in Southern California for the last 25 years and follow it closely and always wanted to make a racehorse story. I'm a real sucker for the kind of inspiring underdog sports dramas. Those have always been a sweet spot for me. And I watched the 2009 Derby on television, so this was only 5 years ago, but Mind That Bird was just a stunning visual win. I mean, to come from 30 lengths back and win the race, and then at 50 to 1, you've got to kind of question, how did that horse come out of nowhere? So with some investigating and meeting the real characters in the movie and stuff, I found them just so colorful and beautifully flawed, as we all are, and out of New Mexico, and just taking on the blue bloods there, the high end. So it's really about class a bit. And these guys, buying a very inexpensive horse and taking to Kentucky and winning the Derby. So it all said, you got to make this film. As I say, I love these pictures.
Yeah, and I think now myself, I'm from Louisville originally, so so I'm very familiar with the Derby, and even people around here, with Ellis Park, and it's in full effect right now. I think that they can relate to a story like this and understand, the dynamics of a 50 to 1 horse actually winning the Kentucky Derby, which was a great story in itself. Now you've actually got Calvin Borel, the jockey for Mind That Bird, in the movie, right?
Oh, Calvin is great. Yeah, we were actually going to cast, other people. I mean, originally I said, Calvin's this Hall of Famer. He's riding every day. I'm not going to be able to take him away from that daily gig. It's not easy to do. So I interviewed some other jocks, and there was nobody who could play Calvin Borel. He is such an individual, such a great character. So I flew to Kentucky and spent part of the day with Calvin and convinced him to play it. And I am so happy I did, because I think Calvin just shines in this film, and I think how wonderful too for a jockey to have the opportunity to to play himself in a film. I said, this isn't going to happen again, Calvin. So he agreed, and he's really the emotional. The ending of this film obviously is Calvin Borel. So I couldn't be happier to have him on board.
And of course,
that was a real coup.
Yeah, and of course you've got some other great actors in here. Of course, a legend in acting, William Devane, and then you've got Skeet Ulrich and Christian Kane, who's a country singer. We've heard a little bit from him here at the radio station. So it looks like a pretty cool cast you've got there.
Well, I like it. It's not your typical Hollywood cast. I mean, I must say, because there's a lot of guys who you might say, they put a big A-list star in there, and I really, reeled at that. And I said, I want guys who really feel a bit more authentic. And Skeet's from, spent a lot of time in Virginia and down south and knew horses. And Christian Kane, born in Texas and raised in Oklahoma. And Bill Devane's been around horses his whole life. So I really wanted these characters who knew horses, knew one end from the other. And I didn't want to spend the time teaching it. There's a certain way you walk and you talk, and it's a real story. So these guys matched up very, very well to their counterparts, to the real guys in the movie, and I took great pains to make sure I cast it right. So I was happy on the day. I mean, directing, I knew I'd done the right job, because they make your life a lot easier when they're that good.
Sure, and the way you've done the premiere for this movie, I guess you've kind of taken the same trip that Mind That Bird did, and it's going to bring you right here to Indiana as well.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah, this horse started in New Mexico. That's where, when they first bought him, they took him to New Mexico. So we started the film, we premiered it in Albuquerque, and have been moving it through the states on our way to Kentucky and now to Indiana. So it's been a slow rollout. It's not something that's done often these days. Used to do this a little bit in the 70s and 80s, a little rollout, but this is one that just takes time. It's word of mouth. It's working nicely. Audiences, it's a real crowd pleaser. I mean, as it should be, an underdog story. So I'm happy to bring it to Indiana. It's great.
Very cool, and that is this Friday, and it's going to be exclusively at Showplace Cinema South, which is off South Green River Road there over Hebron, I believe. And you can check that out. It's 50-1, and that is from Oscar winner Jim Wilson. Of course, folks, in case they don't know Jim Wilson, now you've had plenty of success with mostly Kevin Costner films in the past, correct?
Yeah, no, I've done a lot of films. I directed Kevin way back in 1981, so we've known each other forever, and I've produced 7 of his films and directed a few as well. But, we won the Oscar for Dances with Wolves, but, we did The Bodyguard together and Message in a Bottle, Wyatt Earp. There's a bunch of films. Mr. Brooks, a little darker picture, and Swing Vote. So we've had a good run.
Well, you've had some great films out there, and I have no doubt that this one will be up there as well. So anybody that wants to see that can check that out at Showplace South. Again, that's starting this Friday. 50-1 about Kentucky Derby winner Mind That Bird. Want to thank you, Jim, for joining us today, and we'll look forward to seeing that movie.
Thank you, Eric. You guys have a good weekend.